Hey gardening friends, ready to grow healthier plants, bigger harvests, and smarter gardens? Let's get started.
What if the plant you brought home from the garden center last weekend, the one sitting in your yard right now, looking healthy and perfectly harmless, could send your grandchild to the emergency room without a single warning sign? And what if nobody at that nursery was ever required to tell you? Welcome to the Smart Gardener. If you have not subscribed yet, do it now. What we build here is real knowledge for real gardeners, not marketing, not filler. Here is something most American homeowners have never been told. Every spring, millions of families across this country choose plants based on color, price, and a care tag that mentions nothing but watering schedules. There is no federal law requiring nurseries to label plants as toxic to humans or animals at the point of sale. A plant that can stop a child's heart can sit right next to the tomato starts with nothing but a sun and water icon on the tag. In 2024, nearly 2.1 million poison exposures were reported to United States poison centers. That is one exposure every 15 seconds. The American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, Animal Poison Control, received more than 451,000 calls about pets that same year, nearly 4% more than the year before. Plants were in the top 6 causes in both categories. Today we are going through 14 of the most commonly sold, most visually appealing plants in America that most homeowners do not know are genuinely dangerous. And one plant near the end of this list, a flower so delicate it has appeared in the most elegant weddings in American history, can cause fatal heart failure in a child from as little as 2 small leaves. Stay with us, that one is coming. Let's start with the most quietly dangerous category on this list. These are plants that affect the heart, and the damage they cause does not always announce itself right away. By the time something feels wrong, the window for easy intervention may already be closing. The first plant is oleander. If you live anywhere from the Gulf Coast through the Southwest, Southern California, Arizona, Texas, or Florida, you have seen this plant lining highways and filling front yards. It is beautiful, drought-tolerant, and sold as the perfect hedge for zones 8 through 11. Every part of it contains cardiac glycosides that block the sodium-potassium enzyme pump inside heart cells, disrupting the electrical signals that keep your heart beating in rhythm. Poison control centers across warm states consistently rank it among their most serious plant-related calls. One detail most homeowners never hear: burning oleander clippings in a backyard fire pit releases those same toxic compounds into the smoke. The danger does not disappear when the plant is cut down. The second plant is foxglove. Those tall spikes of tubular purple and pink flowers look like something out of a cottage garden painting, which is exactly why they sell so well every April. Foxglove is the original natural source of digitalis, one of the most powerful heart medications ever developed, and every part of the plant carries that same cardiac toxicity. What separates it from most plants on this list is that it self-seeds aggressively. One plant this spring can produce dozens of seedlings next year that quietly appear in your vegetable bed or along your fence line where children kneel to pull weeds. Lupine in the Russell hybrid form gives you the same height and cottage garden feeling with a dramatically safer profile across zones 4 through 8. And now the plant mentioned at the very beginning of this video. Tiny white bell-shaped flowers, a fragrance so gentle you would never suspect it. Lily of the Valley contains more than 38 distinct cardiac glycosides, more than any other common garden plant. As little as 2 small leaves can be a fatal dose for a young child or a small pet. When you cut Lily of the Valley and place it in a vase, the water itself becomes toxic within hours. The red berries it produces in fall look remarkably similar to edible currants, making them particularly dangerous for curious children. More than 250 exposures are reported to poison control every year, and roughly 15% require medical care. This plant grows across zones 3 through 9, often described at the nursery as the perfect quiet shade plant, with no warning attached. The plants we just covered are dangerous when swallowed. The next group raises the stakes differently. These are plants that can affect you before anything ever reaches your mouth, through skin contact alone. Monkshood is widely regarded by toxicologists as the most acutely dangerous plant in an ordinary American garden. Its deep blue-purple hooded flowers thrive in shaded borders across zones 3 through 8. The active compound aconitine can be absorbed directly through intact skin, with no cut or abrasion required. As little as 1 gram consumed can be fatal, and the cardiac arrhythmias it causes are documented as exceptionally difficult to treat. The rule is non-negotiable. Gloves are mandatory every single time you touch this plant, whether trimming stems, dividing roots, or cutting back growth. Tall garden phlox in deep blue or violet gives you the same shaded border presence across zones 4 through 8, with none of that risk. Angel's trumpet deserves particular attention in any household with teenagers. Its large pendulous flowers hang from a shrub reaching 13 to 16 feet tall in zones 9 through 11, and it is grown in containers indoors across zones 6 through 8 during winter. Every part contains tropane alkaloids that cause confusion, hallucination, rapid heart rate, and coma. There is a documented pattern of intentional misuse among teenagers who research its alkaloid content online. If this plant is in your yard and you have teenagers at home, that conversation is worth having directly. Hibiscus in large standard form delivers the same tropical drama without the alkaloid concern. Castor bean reaches 8 to 10 feet in a single season, with enormous lobed leaves in green, bronze, and burgundy. It is genuinely impressive. It is also the plant from which ricin is derived. The spiny seed pods are visually striking and produced in large quantities throughout the season. Precisely the kind of object that draws a curious child. Canna lily, in bold red or burgundy varieties, gives you comparable tropical scale across zones 7 through 10, typically $3 to $5 per rhizome at garden centers in spring, with none of the seed toxicity concern. Now we come to the most unsettling group on this list. Not because they are the most toxic, but because they are the best disguised. They look familiar, they feel safe, and that familiarity is exactly where the danger lives. Autumn crocus pushes flowers up from bare ground in fall, with no leaves present, then grows broad green leaves in spring with no flower, easily mistaken for wild garlic. Every part contains colchicine, which in whole plant quantities causes bone marrow suppression and can be fatal. Mark where you plant it, and if you remove the bulbs, monitor that spot for a full season, because fragments left in soil will bloom again. Yew has lined driveways and borders across the Northeast and Midwest for generations, and feels as permanent as the houses themselves. Taxine alkaloids in the leaves, bark, and seeds affect the heart directly. The soft red coating around each seed is the one non-toxic part. The seed inside is highly toxic. Yew poisoning in dogs is among the most documented plant toxicity categories in American veterinary emergency data. Arbor Vitae emerald green across zones 3 through 7 gives you comparable structure for $15 to $30 per plant, with a dramatically safer profile. Jimson weed appears uninvited in disturbed soil across every climate zone. Its white trumpet flowers carry the same tropane alkaloids as angel's trumpet throughout the entire plant. Remove it with gloves, bag it, and never compost it. Pokeweed grows to 10 feet with magenta stems and dark berries that look exactly like wild edible fruit. They are not. Dig a 12-inch circle, at least 12 inches deep, to extract the full taproot and monitor the area through the full following season. Water hemlock is the most acutely toxic plant native to North America. It grows along stream banks and pond edges, and its white flowers are similar enough to edible carrot family plants that experienced foragers have made fatal mistakes. If you have any wet area on your property, check whether water hemlock is present there. Lantana is one of the best-selling summer color plants in America, and consistently among the top causes of feline toxicity in veterinary poison control. Unripe green berries carry higher toxin concentrations than ripe ones, meaning the hazard shifts invisibly all season. Pentas delivers the same color with a meaningfully safer profile. Daphne is planted near front doors for its extraordinary winter fragrance, but its small red to yellow berries cause rapid and severe mouth burning even in small quantities, and contact with the bark causes skin blistering. Nothing on the nursery tag mentions any of this. Bleeding heart is sometimes marketed as the perfect plant for a children's garden because of its playful heart-shaped flowers. The alkaloids it contains can cause convulsions in cats, dogs, and other animals across zones 3 through 9. If you keep it, make sure every person in your household knows it is a handle with care plant. That conversation needs to happen out loud. You now know what most American gardeners were never told at the nursery. The question is, what you do with that knowledge starting today. Do this right now before this video ends. Save 2 phone numbers into your contacts. The first is 1-800-222-1222, the National Poison Control Center, free and available around the clock. The second is 1-888-426-4435, the Animal Poison Control Line for pets. If you ever suspect a child or animal has contacted any plant you are unsure about, call immediately. Do not wait for symptoms. Do not attempt to cause vomiting without guidance from the specialist. And always bring a photo or a sample of the plant to the emergency room. Knowing the exact plant identity is the single most time-saving piece of information you can give a medical team. 3 mistakes most homeowners still make even after they have this information. First, removing the plant does not solve the problem immediately. Pokeweed, autumn crocus, and monkshood all leave roots, bulbs, or seeds in the soil that will return the following season. Monitor any removal area for a full growing year. Second, switching to a safer plant category is correct, but take 15 minutes to verify the specific variety before you buy. Third, and most importantly, tell everyone in your household what changed and why. The neighbor who helps with yard work, the family member who tends a different garden section, the person who mows. The value of what you learned today only multiplies when every person who touches your yard knows it too. To build a garden that is beautiful, safe, and low maintenance from the ground up, work from 3 anchors. For structure and hedging, choose arbor vitae, viburnum, or native holly. For summer color, choose pentas, native coneflower, black-eyed Susan, or portulaca. For shaded borders, choose native ferns and hosta, both of which spread naturally over time, with almost no effort, and deliver the same quiet presence without any safety concern. If this video gave you something real, press like. It takes 1 second, and it tells the algorithm to show this to another family making planting decisions right now without this information. Drop your state and the plant that surprised you most in the comments. And send this link to one person in your life who loves their garden. Not a message about it, just the link. Subscribe to The Smart Gardener for honest gardening knowledge every single week. Built for the gardener who knows that the best decisions come from real information.